Leagues 5 gang, it is time. Time to lock in. Today's video is, well, hopefully a quick one, but you guys know how much I can yap. We're going through my relic choices, my region choices, the reasons why. Hopefully this might even help you make up your own mind if you haven't already. I've linked a copy to this site where you can click through your relics, give it a title, screenshot it, send it to your friends if you want to show off your builds. This is what I'm going to be using today, so we're just going to be talking through this. Now you may notice I've got my regions up here. For my first playthrough, I'm going Zaya, Tirunwyn, Fremennik. For masteries, I'm going 4 into melee, I'm going 6 into range. So the whole idea behind those two combinations is essentially the machine gun blowpipe build. Is it basic? Yes. But will it be fun? Absolutely. And the only reason Zaya is in there is because this is the region that a lot of people in my Discord are picking to do raids together. Zaya doesn't actually contribute much to this kind of blowpipe ranged build. And if I was gonna change it for anything else, it would either be Asgarnia or Mauritania so that, you know, I had more options for other gear and gear progression along the way. This is definitely going to be a long shot to get to that kind of dream setup, which is a full set of crystal, the Fremennik jewelry, the toxic blowpipe. In a nutshell, that is what my typical endgame loadout is going to look like. You know, with that tier 6 range mastery, the prayer penetration, you could just ignore pretty much all traditional rules of PVM. So just stand still, unload the blowpipe, smile. Smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave. Now, let's get into relics. So for tier 1 relics, I'm picking Animal Wrangler. I really like everything this relic does. The fishing stuff alone is great for, you know, long periods of AFK. Sure, there's an argument that Karam ones are fully AFK, but being able to do that with any other fishing spot in the game is pretty big. The hunter element to Animal Wrangler is also massive. Now, my regions aren't great for hunter, but there is some hunting in Fremennik. You know there'll be tasks associated with that. I do have red chins in Tirunwyn, and there are a few token hunter creatures in Zaya as well, so it's going to get some benefit, but not massively. I think the one thing people always tend to forget about Animal Wrangler is that everyone is going to have access to Puro Puro, and we already know there's Puro Puro tasks, so this is going to be great for that. At tier 2, I am locking in dodgy deals. I gave it a lot of thought, and with this playthrough, with these regions, I just really like the look of dodgy deals. I was originally a corner cutter. Unfortunately, after looking at, you know, where this comes in across all regions, I just don't feel that its long-term value is really there. So dodgy deals is what I'm locking in. Getting early access to some of the valuable stalls, thieving chests in Misthalin and Zaya. Even in Tirunwyn, there are some good stalls you can thieve from. Great NPCs to pickpocket in Tirunwyn to solve, you know, crystal shards as well. It doesn't do great in Fremennik, but I'm happy that I get great benefit out of dodgy deals with these two regions. And really, the other plan is to get a fire cape as early as possible and try and get some of the gems from the gem stall in Mortal Wreck before, you know, everybody who hasn't picked dodgy deals just starts griefing anyone who does. So that is the plan. I really hope we don't see a league where everyone gets griefed by that. And I really think that that's a bit of an oversight and a shame, but it is what it is. Moving on to tier 3. This one was a no-brainer for me as well. I'm picking Clue Compass. I feel like Clue Compass and dodgy deals just have great application because there are so many NPCs in the game, especially after so many quality of life changes this year, that clue scrolls are given to you from a lot of NPCs via pickpocketing. So never failing pickpocketing, stacking any clues in the process of just, you know, AFK money or whatever the resource is that you're pickpocketing. Being able to quickly tick off those clues, super valuable to me. Also just a great teleport relic in of itself. So I'm very happy with Clue Compass. And for tier 4, I'm going to be honest, this one was really difficult as a choice for me. And I'll tell you why. I think dodgy deals also solves a lot of money problems. Don't get me wrong, money's not going to come flooding in by pickpocketing, but you do pickpocket in an 11 by 11 area of any other NPC of the same type. So you can really rack up some quick passive GP with this relic. And I did think that that meant I wouldn't need to pick Golden God. But here is the issue. I definitely don't want Equilibrium. No hate on anyone thinking of picking this. I just don't care about additional XP. So Equilibrium, out the question. Reloaded would allow me to go back and potentially pick something like Power Miner, because I do think Power Miner has great value. I don't think going back to pick Friendly Forager helps me, because with Zaya, it is a fantastic region for herbs, for seeds, for everything to do with herblore and farming. So I feel like that's a waste, and I wouldn't go back for Corner Cutter anyway. Reloaded has kind of ruled itself out and left me with a choice that is honestly just the only thing that plugs a gap. So Golden God is what I'm locking in at tier 4. And the prayer element to the Golden God relic has some great synergy with Zaya. So it allows you to sacrifice coins instead of bones at an altar that you would be able to use bones on. There is the altar in the Forthos dungeon in Zaya, and you can get access to that and some pretty quick prayer XP by sacrificing 5 dragon stones. Another thing that Dodgy Deals massively helps with is obtaining those 5 dragon stones from, the dark chest in the Isle of Souls. So I'll be able to use Golden God to max out prayer in Zaya pretty quickly. And of course, the money-making element of Golden God is incredible. The passive magic XP that's just going to roll in from permanently high alching a stack of whatever it is going to be great. I don't plan on leveling magic beyond my starting route, so this is just going to be great for getting me access to spells that I can't be bothered to use magic to unlock in the first place. Tier 5. This is a real shame for me, and I really want to be able to use and pick Slayer Master, but I feel like with my regions, Zaya, Tirunwyn, Fremennik, sure, there's a lot of things I can kill that'll give me Slayer XP, and it will give me passive Slayer XP. The Brimstone keys I would get from just pretty much doing any Slayer with Zaya unlocked is great. Brimstone keys, great loot, but I can go get a Slayer task from Konar anytime I want. Sure, I'm limited to whatever she gives me, but that's not going to be so bad with region locking in the first place. I also just feel like I want to capitalize on the DPS that picking this with Mauritania would give me. So picking Slayer Master and getting a Slayer helmet, an imbued Slayer helmet, would boost your DPS and accuracy all around the game. I just feel like if I pick it with these regions, I'm just going to feel sad about it, man. So I'm not picking Slayer Master. I really feel like Treasure Arbiter might be overkill with Clue Compass and Dodgy Deals and Animal Wrangler. So Production Master just feels like, again, similar to Golden God, it feels like the last viable option within my tier. So I'm going to be a Production Master stan. All right, the big debate. Total Recall, Bankers, no. I really have just ping-ponged between these two hundreds of times. Total Recall in particular has incredible uses with Fremennik and Zaya. Being able to Total Recall back to the Dagonoth Kings is going to save so much time. And I know someone's going to say, oh, but you can get, the Elite Clue Step and then use Clue Compass to teleport there. That's really not going to be easy to do, guys. It's really not going to be easy to do. So Total Recall is great for that. And Zaya is a massive continent. Even with Xeric's Talisman, the transport options there aren't incredible. So Total Recall helps you get back to exactly where you want to be. And actually, thinking about it, it's also great for Tirunwyn, pretty much exclusively for Zulrah. Zulrah, not great to get to. Sure, there's a fairy ring there with a slight agility requirement that doesn't make it so bad, but Total Recall would allow you to literally just teleport back to the boat in front of the shrine, farm Zulrah, and make that grind really, really short. Banker's Note, though, would allow me to take infinite supplies into a ridiculously scaled up raid. Otherwise, I feel like, sure, Banker's Note does have some great skilling synergies, for runecrafting in particular, but anyone who is not a max efficient Sweat Andy is not going to use Banker's Note to its full potential. You're not going to be running around the game unnoting uncut gems, cutting them, noting them again, rinse and repeat. You're not going to be doing that everywhere you go. And I feel like that is part of the bait that is Banker's Note. But I cannot deny Banker's Note has some great late game PVM use if you're not thinking of picking something like Last Stand later on. And despite me absolutely hammering Banker's Note just there, I think this is what I'm going to be picking. Again, this comes back to the big PVM situations. I want to be doing content that my account isn't necessarily ready for. And I also feel like with these regions, my build is going to take a very long time to come online. So Banker's Note is coming in at a point that can still help me push harder content sooner. And I feel like that's what I want to use it for. So if I had to lock one of these two in right now, although I can't promise that's going to change on the day, right now it's Banker's Note. In tier 7, these choices are all really good. I said in a recent video that this tier is actually a really tricky one to pick from. Pocket Kingdom is fantastic, especially when paired with Production Master. You know, you're getting all those logs, you're also getting some ores, and you're also getting fish, as well as your herbs and everything like that. This is going to help you clean all of them, process all of them, you know, do everything you want with the resources from Pocket Kingdom even faster. The reason I don't want Pocket Kingdom is because Overgrown was built for Zaya. Overgrown is such a great relic, and I know some people aren't too happy about the fact that it doesn't synergize with farming contracts in the farming guild, and that you won't be able to get certain farming items by using Overgrown. So I saw a comment on one of my previous videos about someone saying you don't get tree roots when auto farming with Overgrown. That's a really, really quick solve. You know, just take your seed out of the seed vault and just manually check the health of a tree, dig it up, get your roots. You'll only ever need to do one tree for a diary task anyway, and then put the seed back in your seed vault and go back to auto farming. It's really not a big deal. Grimoire is great, but I feel like with these regions, I'm already getting access to the Lunar Spellbook. I've already got the prayers from the Chambers of Xeric. I don't really need Piety, to be honest. I'm going to be pretty much on range permanently. So Grimoire loses some of the value for me. Overgrown is the right choice for me. And then in the final tier, I feel like this is ultimately going to hinge on whatever decision I make in tier 6. If I pick Total Recall, I pick Last Stand, because the survivability I lose from Banker's Note, I gained from picking Last Stand. So I stay alive there. I'm using a blowpipe on a 1-tick basis, just standing still and hitting incredibly quick, getting a full heal from that, and I'm chilling. But if I were to pick Banker's Note, then I might be considering something like Specialist. And it doesn't go incredibly well with some of the items I'm thinking of using between these regions. Let's not forget, I can still get the Dragon Claws from Zaya, which honestly looks like this relic was kind of made for. It will help with blowpipe heals on special attack as well. And there are a few other choice special attacking items that I can get with these regions, but realistically, I think I honestly prefer the look of Last Stand all round. So this is the one I'm going to lock in for now. And that is my build. Personally, I feel like this build I'm going for doesn't lend itself to much flexibility with other styles. The Nature's Reprisal is going to be a fun little weapon to pair with the Crystal Armor for a little bit of, you know, meme melee range build. And that's something I said I wanted to play with ever since we found out about these echo items. So I think that'll be fun. But ultimately, this is going to be one of many account builds that I end up trying. I want to play through 3 different accounts this league. One with a definite emphasis on the blowpipe, which is this one. One where I absolutely have to tackle Varlamore, Echo Sol, and get a hold of that spear to do some sort of prayer special attack build. And the third one, I haven't decided yet. So let me know in the comments if there is a build that you've thought about that you don't quite want to kind of sacrifice an account playthrough to try yourself, but you would like to see someone else try it, and I might consider it. That is all from me today, so a quick video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more Leagues 5 content throughout the league. Can't wait for it. I'm sure you're all in the same boat. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you soon.